Hello and welcome to the long-awaited episode number 37 of the All Things Sports podcast. My name is Zach Bischoff, and I am joined over there by.
Danny Shanhunzer.
All right, today we have a lot of stuff to cover in not a lot amount of time. So we may end up splitting this into two episodes or two parts. We will see where time takes us. All right, first of all, Danny, how are you on this lovely, lovely evening?
I'm doing well, Zach. Good to be back. Yeah, man,
2 week
I'm feeling good.
hiatus there.
How are
Lots
you?
of good. Yeah, lots of internet issues at my vacation destination, and which ultimately prevented us from doing a live episode. I know I teased you all many times with that. I apologize for that, as a lot of unforeseen circumstances happen with our availability as far as that goes. All right. So today we are going to talk about the National Lacrosse League, our favorite time of year here at the Ultimate Sports Podcast, and the Penguins, who are playing some good hockey as of late. So it's right there. Danny, your thoughts on the Pens and recent couple of games, and your thoughts also on the Jeff Skinner suspension.
Yeah, Zach. Like you said, man, the Pens have picked it up as of late. I mean, obviously, good performances against the Sabres. So
Mm-hmm.
we want to take that with a grain of salt there. Uh, but yeah, man. I mean, obviously, a a really good OT winner. Was it Saturday? And then a very good, um, just good performance. Just to follow that up on the back to back. Those back to backs, Zach. I mean, they got a lot of them, man, and so
They
they
do.
got to make sure they're they're ready for that, man. But yeah, man. I mean, again, I really like the quick start, especially in last night's game, man. And these are the type of games, it's probably mentally tough playing a team like the Sabres on a back to back because you are good enough to beat them, but actually executing that is easier said than done.
Mhm. Also want to hear your thoughts on this. So, two things. One, Jeff Skinner was suspended 3 games by the National Hockey League for his cross check, his really dirty cross check on Penguins forward, which winger, I believe he is, Jake Gensel. You see the very high and hard cross check to the face, and he was suspended 3 games. The first of those games was last night. And also getting your thoughts on Tage Thompson. He scored, I believe it was 4 goals, I believe it was a single period against the Blue Jackets. I believe it was last week. The score of that ended up being it was 5-0 in the first period, and then the score ended up being I believe it was 9-4. Your thoughts on
Wow.
on the Sabres performance and Tage Thompson in Tage Thompson in particular.
Yeah, Zach. I mean, just to start off with the suspension. I mean, obviously, whenever a cross check up high, whenever that arises, right, you always kind of are wondering, okay, how is the NHL Department of Player Safety going to handle it? And I feel as though,
Yes,
um, I
even if they handle it, which
right. So I think they're trying to put their foot down here, maybe set an example here, but yeah, I mean, I can't decide if 3 games is the right amount or if like I'm not exactly sure on that. You know what I mean? Because
mm-hmm.
obviously I'm a little bit biased because it was on Jake Gensel, but obviously if it was the other way around, Zach, and Jake Gensel got Jeff Skinner, I probably would be more biased towards Jake
Yes.
Gensel's side of thing. And I just hockey's a physical sport, so yeah.
Yes. And also need to exactly well. Hello and welcome to the viewer out there viewing on YouTube. We're currently talking about the and they're gone. All right. Um, so my thoughts on that. I think 3 games is appropriate. I think that I was actually surprised that they. I was surprised that he got 3 games because they usually like to fine a lot more than suspend players. So I
Right.
think games is appropriate in that particular case. All right, now we're now going to talk about the National Lacrosse League, as I said before, our favorite time of the year in this in the offices of all things sports, which are our home. Um, so today, the NLL kicked off their season um, early December, just a little over 10 days ago. So as I am going to go through the week, I'm going to go through week 1 here. So as we share the screen here, which one is it? There you go. There we go. Click the right thing. See what happens. You haven't done this for 2 weeks, and now you forget how to do it. Okay, so Halifax defeated Philadelphia 18-8. That was a blowout from the start. Speaking, you're talking about quick starts. The NL surely has plenty of them.
Right.
And Danny, just for the record, how much NLL have you watched since I gave you your homework assignment?
I gotta be honest to the viewers and to Zach. I would probably receive a C- on that assignment here. So not great for the GPA here in terms of sports consumption. But I did watch Zach, and I'm sure we'll get into this here soon. Here is just the big dogs were defeated, man. I mean obviously
Yes.
Colorado and Buffalo losing on opening night, and that just shows. They were talking about on the broadcast, I believe that, like the draft picks and trades and all of that. I mean, you can truly see because um, they were I forget who Colorado was playing. I apologize for that, but they were talking about how it was so much easier for them to scout Colorado than for Colorado to scout them because basically their whole entire offense was new. I mean, just
Yeah.
so I think that's always an interesting component to watch, not just
Yeah.
in the NLL, but like in all sports. You know what I mean?
And it was the Saskatchewan Rush defeating the Colorado Mammoth and
That's your sweeper team, is it not, Zach?
Yes, it actually was. And
Good
we'll get into
start.
that.
Good start.
Yeah, I'm liking the Saskatchewan Rush to start out here now.
Don't want to jinx you, but good start.
Yeah, a couple games I want to highlight here. Where's my thing? Okay. Nope. Okay. Exit full screen. There we go. Okay. Couple things I want to highlight here. So, obviously, your defending champions losing here in the Colorado Mammoth here. So, and then next we have the Albany Firewolves defeating the Buffalo Bandits, the NL runner-up, so to speak, last year. That was a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
I did not watch this game. I watched this game. Now, this is another one I want to highlight here. The Toronto Rock. Now, the Toronto Rock appear to be. I think they could be a contender this year, and I think they will make the playoffs. I mean, they have guys like Dave Dawson and a couple of other players that can just put the team on their back and score goals in clutch moments. And as we move to week number 2 here, Panther City defeating the new expansion team, the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, last Friday, 13-11. And the San Diego Seals defeating the Saskatchewan Rush, 13-12 in overtime. Now, this game was dominated by the Saskatchewan Rush the whole game, and then the Seals went on I believe, an 8 or 9-0 run in the fourth quarter in about 5 minutes time to force overtime here. So now, and then we have um, and that just shows that, that a 1 or 2 goal lead in lacrosse, indoor or outdoor, is nothing. I think a good lead in lacrosse is 4-5, I'd say. Now, we have the Rochester Nighthawks. I have not watched either of these games, but we have the Rochester Nighthawks defeating the Toronto Rock 11-7. And then we have the Calgary Roughnecks defeating the Vancouver Warriors 11-9. Then we will take a look finally at your standings through just about 2 weeks of play here. So we have Halifax leading the East. And we have Panther City leading the West. Danny, your thoughts on everything that I just mentioned?
Yes, sir. No, I mean, obviously, Zach, a new season, new possibilities for every team. Just, I want to highlight, Zach, one team that, a lot of people were sleeping on, maybe the NLL fan base's sleeper team. I don't think a lot of people had Albany beating Buffalo, the Albany Firewolves beating Buffalo Bandits on opening night, because obviously Buffalo was the runner-up. But Zach, how about? And I don't know, I don't know, and I don't know if you watch this game or not. But how about Doug Jamieson, Zach? 44 saves, putting the Albany Firewolves on his back and carrying them, willing them to the finish line. I mean, that is a huge win for a team like Albany. Against one of the I was gonna say premier, but no, because premier lacrosse league, but national lacrosse league. So I was gonna try to make a play on words there. Didn't really land. But yeah, man, that's a huge win. Huge win.
Yes, sir. And let's see where we at time. Oh, we got ourselves some time. All right, let's talk about the let's talk about the Steelers. Let's talk about them Steelers. So obviously, Steelers today lost by a score of 16-14, excuse me, to the Baltimore Ravens. That about puts the lid on their 2022-2023 playoff hopes. Danny, your thoughts on the Steelers' performance this afternoon?
Yeah, man. I did not watch a ton of this game because I was on the way back from Cleveland here. Which Cleveland, they're not doing very well either. But yeah, man. Just as a whole, we're sitting at 5-8, right? And Mitch Trubisky, I thought he had it in him, Zach. I really did. I thought he might lead us down there for a game-winning drive. Obviously, that did not happen, Zach. I just think, and just 14 points against the Ravens is not going to get it done. I mean, our defense.
Here's the thing. How in the word that I cannot say on YouTube did you think that Mitch Trubisky was going to lead the team? He threw 3 interceptions down there. He threw 3 interceptions in the red zone.
Yeah, see, that's not what we want, And I honestly would think about starting Mason Rudolph. I think I would think about doing that, Zach, because what do we have to lose? But yeah, man. As far as the rest of the season, I'm not sure about you, Zach, but I'm rooting for losses, honestly, because I don't want us to go 7-10, get a mediocre draft pick, and it just be another long off season.
Yeah, but you know what this team's gonna do. Even if they do get a high draft pick, they're gonna spend it on a shiny new toy quarterback or wide
Yeah.
receiver.
No, and Zach, this is
And,
exactly
and
this is exactly the problem, Zach, because we're so worried about this flashy new running back, this
flashy
flashy
new
new wide
toys.
receiver. We need, I was talking to my dad. I was talking to my dad, and I was like, we all we need is like a strong offensive lineman from like northern Iowa, or like we don't
Yeah.
need any glamour. We don't need all of this hype. We just need somebody to help to allow the quarterback to be able to make some throws here. And
Mhm.
I think no, Zach, I have a question for you because this has been a hot topic of discussion. Obviously, we had that run. We beat the Falcons, obviously, which was a saw some flashes there. But I'm curious about this, Zach. Do you think do you want Matt Canada back for next season?
No.
But Zach, the Steelers and people that I've heard some people on local radio saying, "Look, we've seen flashes here. We've seen flashes, and throwing like obviously I think Kenny Pickett, he's injured right now, obviously, but Kenny Pickett is the future of the franchise here. Yeah, I mean that's
Yes.
so I don't. Do you think changing the system would have any effect on him?
Not real. I mean, I think if you are gonna change the system, you need to change it within the first couple years of a quarterback. I mean, I think if Canada does get fired, I don't think that Pickett will be massively. I mean, get Frank Signetti in there. He'll be fine.
The pit, yeah.
Get the
See,
Pitt offensive coordinator in there.
I I don't know, man. I feel like this team, and I know this is obviously not like pretty shallow analysis, Zach, but we just got too many holes, man.
Oh yeah, it's like wait, not Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese or cottage cheese? Which one has the
Swiss cheese
holes?
is the one with holes on it.
Swiss
Yeah.
cheese. Swiss cheese. Yeah, it's like Swiss cheese. There's a whole bunch of holes in it. Oh, all right. And no inappropriate joke intended. All right. So we actually have a lot more to cover than I thought we had originally scripted here. So we are going to now talk about the a couple things. The World Cup. Um, the World Cup here. So first we will have, and this is an issue with not doing a podcast for a couple weeks is that we have like 2 weeks worth of crap to talk about. That's not an issue. So
That's an opportunity, Zach. Opportunity
yes.
for those of us, for people listening out there. I have a motivational tip of the day. All right. All right. Um, you know, fear is a state of mind. You cannot be in gratitude and in fear at the same time. So I, for one, am grateful for the opportunity, the fact that we have the whole World Cup to talk about. I don't know about you, Zach.
Yes, sir. There you go.
That was not scripted, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Appreciate it, Zach. Appreciate it.
Okay. Yes, sir. So obviously we'll have the United States last week, or a week, maybe a week or two ago at this point, being eliminated by the Netherlands by a score of 3-1. Thank you. Getting your thoughts on if you remember that particular game and what the U.S. Needs to do to make a run in the next cycle here. Is the U.S. For those that don't know, have an automatic bid into the World Cup as they
Right.
are one of the host countries, along
Right.
with Canada and Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Zach, I really thought the biggest difference was just the fact that we had two major defensive breakdowns, and I just thought that the Netherlands, they really the reason why we the reason why we possessed it so much is because they let us possess the ball. And for those of you that maybe didn't watch it, like we had the ball for I would say 65 to 70% of the time. But the Netherlands, I mean, they just had a lethal counterattack, Zach. I mean, they were just able to kind of pass around us in some instances. But honestly, Jack, I was pessimistic going into the World Cup because I think I let not qualifying for the 2018 World Cup kind of dictate my thinking. I am encouraged by what I saw. I mean, we have a lot
Yes.
of young talent. I mean, Yunus Musa is 20 years old, and he was an absolute beast
Mhm.
during the World Cup. I mean, Christian Pulisic, obviously, big goal against Iran to get us to that point. Obviously the goal is obviously to get over that next hump, right? Get over that, try to check that off the list. We didn't do that, but when you look at where we've come, I just feel like I mean we went toe to toe with England, Zach. So if
Mhm.
I am overall encouraged by what I saw. I just really think the biggest weakness I thought, Zach, we just did not score enough. We didn't really have a go-to striker.
Yeah, and I think that loss, and the second goal at the end of the first half, that hurt.
Yeah,
Um,
big
but
time.
the third one really just um, really put the nail in the United States' coffin there. All right, it'll be interesting to watch the 2026 uh, World Cup as we are, and to our viewer out in YouTube, we cover a variety of sports. So we just talk about mainly, because we're from Pennsylvania, so we stick to mainly local sports and local what's happening locally. But we do sometimes branch out as we're talking about, not like the World Cup and
Yeah,
any other major events going on.
yeah, for sure, Zach. And I mean, obviously, we touched on the U.S. briefly, but how about the the rest of it, man? I mean, just obviously we have the semifinals that are set. Obviously France
Mhm.
beating England in the quarterfinals, which
Yes.
was huge. I mean, Harry Kane missed that penalty kick, which is just tough, man. And Brazil, Zach, the favorites, man. I mean, Croatia. How about them holding them to 1-1 and then beating them in PKs, man? Neymar didn't even get a chance to kick. I mean,
Mhm.
Jack, I do want to, and we can, if you want to, we can talk a little bit more about the semifinal games coming up here, Jack.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
a topic of discussion every time the World Cup rolls around, or any type of major sporting event rolls around, Jack, is
Mhm.
the debate between with penalty kicks. Like,
Mhm.
people think that penalty kicks are kind of an anticlimactic way to end a hard fought. I mean, 120
Yes.
minutes of
Uh,
of soccer. Do you have a thought on, like, your thoughts on
and
that?
I do want to address, and this is a good Nelson viewer. We're gonna put this on screen here. So, France and Argentina. I do think that is that will end up being the final. But it's interesting watching Morocco and are they out? Are they out?
No, they
No,
beat Portugal, which is, I mean, way to
they're
go,
still in.
Morocco,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's interesting to watch, and thank you for your input. It's interesting to watch this that one country that has a that's a Cinderella story every year.
Right.
So yeah, it'll just be interesting to watch how the rest of the tournament plays out. And I do think, just curious to your thoughts out there. Between those two teams, who do you think will win, France and Argentina, if you had to pick one? Um, while we
I
wait
mean,
for
that's
the,
yeah.
that'll
That is
be
that is a
tough one.
that is a great. It's a great point, and I think our viewer out there is correct. I mean, I do think France and Argentina will win. That's obviously it'll be a big like.
I'm sorry, I need to interject. Yes, please share our post, our page on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate that as we're trying to grow the viewership and listenership. You can listen to us. We're also on Apple Podcasts and everywhere where you can get your podcasts. All right, please continue.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say. I mean, obviously, thanks for the comment. I agree with you. And I think we got kind of two storylines, kind of brewing here. France. Can they go back to back? Obviously, obviously Croatia beating Brazil. I mean, again, that speaks to the level of consistency that both these nations have been able to keep. But I agree. That I think Argentina definitely will be in the final. I just think with it being Messi's last, I believe it's going to be Messi's last go around here, and they won in PKs as well. So I just feel like that Argentina is not going to let Messi go out without a fight. So if I had to pick, honestly, Zach, and I they've been the favorite kind of from the beginning. I really think Argentina would be the winner here.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it too. I mean, I don't think that. I just don't see France. I mean, Argentina and France are two powerhouse nations when it comes to soccer here. So, yeah, so that'll be interesting to see. I think that if that ends up, I had a time traveler tell me that Argentina was going to win. Yeah, I think that Argentina is going to win. And I think they will make it that far, and I think they will win. All right. Unfortunately, that will do it for today. We have run out of time, so we thank you for watching out there and sharing our. Let's see, France can't have two World Cups in a row. Yeah, I think it would be very hard for France, as good as they are, to repeat. So we thank you for tuning in and sharing our page, and we enjoyed interacting with you out there. And we hope to see you tune into future episodes, which will be coming very, very shortly. And until next time, Danny, would you do the honors?
Bye for now.
Thank you.